Computer updated.
All units locate and acquire a working enemy data device. Last recon data indicates access through sewers. Squad leaders working with sister teams.
Red force fields deactivated.
Squad leaders coordinate with sister teams. All units locate and acquire a working enemy data device. We have a disable and destroy order on communication laser.
Computer updated. Computer updated. Computer updated. Data spinner reprogrammed.
We have a disable and destroy order on communication laser. We have a disable and destroy order on communication laser.
Communication laser updated. Computer updated.
starts.
Let me out. Let me out. Let me out.
It hurts. It hurts.